The Huawei P20 Pro, 1 month later. Still worth buying? Find out right now after my intro. Hi guys, it's Zilla. I'm back again with another video, and today we're looking at the Huawei P20 Pro 1 month later. Watch to the end of the video because there are some things I mention about this device that I haven't heard any other YouTuber mention, so stay tuned for that. So let's start off by talking about the build quality. It is glass on the back and the front with aluminium running around between those two glass panes. Build quality for me is top notch. I haven't got any dings, scratches, nothing, but then I am using a screen protector and a case. Feels really ergonomic in the hand. I like how thin it feels. It's very rounded on the back, on the corners. There is a big camera hump on the back of the device, which I know a lot of people don't like, but I always rock a case on my phones anyway. So I like this spigen rugged armor, which I reviewed. That covers up that bump, so it doesn't become an issue for me anyway. So build quality is really nice. You know, it's thumbs up for me for that. While we're on the subject of build quality, let's talk about the actual screen. Now, let me just unlock it. Screen is, in my opinion, excellent. Really good quality screen, this one. The colors are really bright, vibrant, but not overly saturated. I think maybe sometimes the reds can be a little bit too rich, but there are controls where you can turn that down, the warmth, the saturation, change the modes. I'm not going to get into all that because there's no time. But the screen, it is only a 1080p full HD plus screen. You can scale it down to 720p, but honestly, don't bother, leave it at the 1080p mark. But there is obviously the notch, which a lot of people don't like, and I heard people moaning about the bezel at the bottom of the actual screen as well here with the fingerprint sensor. Now, I know some people would prefer to have the fingerprint sensor on the back, which is fair enough, that's personal preference. Me, I like the fingerprint sensor on the front. Why? Because when it's on my desk, I can just put my thumb on it and it unlocks. Lovely, I don't have to even pick the phone up. But the notch on this, I forgive the notch on this. I'll tell you why. It has a purpose. You've got the LED notification light in the top. You've got the selfie camera and the secondary speaker stroke earpiece in the notch as well. Now the face lock on this thing is phenomenally fast. I mean really fast. I'll show you what I mean. Let me lift it. Did you hear that? Look, try and hear that again. See, I wasn't even looking at it. Face lock on this thing is, it's down here and it can read my face. There. It works from, honest to God, this to me is the best face unlock on any phone I've used, including the iPhone 10, including the OnePlus 5T, anything. This thing, not only is it as fast as the OnePlus 5T, but you've got the raise to wake feature, so when you lift it, you hear that? The screen came on, I didn't have to press a button and bang, instant into the phone. Probably one of my top 5 features of this P20 Pro is that feature, that face unlock on this. And also an important thing here is, you can hide the notch, we're not going to get into that debate, by putting those black bars either side of it. But the notch on this, unlike the iPhone 10, doesn't encroach on the actual viewing space. So for example, if I'm watching a YouTube video and I pinch out to zoom it out to fill the screen, it doesn't go into the parts here on either side of the notch. It stays below the notch. So there's no ugly divot cut into the actual viewing area. That's one of the reasons I forgive the notch on this phone. Whereas the iPhone 10, when you pinch out a video in YouTube again, for example, the notch cuts out a little chunk of the video. This doesn't. So think, if you don't like the notch, I understand, but really give that some consideration. when you think about this phone, really do. So screen for me is top level flagship screen. Of course, I'd like to see it have been 2K, but I'm happy. The quality of it, I'm really happy. No problems there. Battery on this thing is a beast. It's phenomenal. It charges from 0 to 100% in around about an hour and a half-ish. Because it has got Huawei SuperCharge, so it's one of the fastest charging phones out there. And remember, what makes that even more amazing is this is a 4000 milliamp hour battery. Now, I've done a few tests. If I charge it to 100% and I keep the screen on at around 40 to 50% brightness, and I loop video or I keep the screen going continuously from 100 to 0%, I got around about 8 hours 45 minutes of screen on time, continuous screen on time, and in some instances 9 hours continuous screen on time. That is excellent. And bear in mind, this screen goes over 700 nits of brightness, so it gets very, very bright. I did another test if you're a light user to help you guys out. This phone gave me 2 hours standby time, with each day giving me, if I used the phone for say 2.5 hours per day, have the screen on, it lasted 2 days before it needed a charge. So that's 5 hours screen on time over 48-hour period of the phone being off charge. And to me, that's exceptional. So if you're a light user, easy 2-day standby time, easy. If you're a heavy user, you're not going to have any anxiety about the battery life on this thing. It puts a lot of the other flagships to shame, I'm sorry to say. The battery on this is better than the Note 8. It's better than the S9 Plus. It's better than the iPhone 8 Plus. It's better than the iPhone 10. So you can see where I'm going with this. Battery, superb. Love this battery. And it doesn't get overly hot either when you're using it and playing games and so on. So 5 stars for battery, no issue. Performance. Now obviously it's got a lot of AI built into it, and it's using the Kirin 970 chipset, which is around about, what, 7-8 months old now. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's outdated. It's not. The way the Kirin chipsets work, it is, they actually get better with time because they learn the way you use your device as an individual. And that's the key here. The way you use it, it follows you and it adjusts things accordingly. And the amount of control you have in this phone when it comes to changing, what you want notifications for. Do you want them on the lock screen? How do you want them? Do you want them in the status bar? Do you want a drop down preview of them? The list is endless. The amount of control you have on this. I never use any battery saving modes on this because I haven't had to use it. And the performance, I've just had an update last week since I've had this phone. So I've already had one update in the 1 month I've had it. And there is no screen latency I'm finding. It's very smooth, very fast. Anything I throw at this phone, it works, no problem. Playing any games like PUBG, no problems at all. I haven't had an issue with performance at all. I mean, this thing is... Don't let it throw you off that it's a Kirin 970. It's not built the same way as a Snapdragon. It learns, okay? Just bear that in mind. It's also got 6 gigabytes of RAM as well. So this thing, it keeps a lot of apps open in the background. If you want it, you can choose which ones you want to automatically launch. You can choose which ones you want it to stop running in the background, etc., etc. So performance on this is definitely, I would say, flagship level performance. I have no issue with that. Camera now. Now, this is quite a lengthy topic. I'm going to break it down as quick as I can. Look at these shots here. You've got a 40 megapixel shot against the 10 megapixel shot with the AI switched on. Now, to me, the sky's definitely been bumped up to a richer blue, and the grass and the leaves have definitely been bumped up to a richer green in both these shots. Because what the AI is doing is it's detecting you've got a blue sky and greenery, is bumping those colors up. Now look at this next shot where I've switched off the AI. Now you can see here the sky is not as blue, it looks more natural, but for some reason the grass still looks very green, and I'm not sure what's going on there. Don't get me wrong, all three pictures are pleasing to my eye. I think sometimes the 40 megapixel can just slightly over sharpen the image, just a tiny bit, but not always. It depends on what you're shooting. So for photography, I'm going to be honest, I think the cameras are great for photography in any scenario, and where it really excels is in night mode. Now, I'm not going to throw up any night mode shots here. I'll leave a link at the end of this video to a video I made comparing the iPhone X to the P20 Pro night modes, so you can see the quality difference. So photography, off the chart, I would say is probably one of the best, if I'm honest. You have to tweak it here and there, but excellent. My issue is with the rear cameras is the video. Now, video, 1080p is excellent. I don't have an issue with that. Very nice, very stable footage, clean, vibrant, beautiful. A 4K, there is no OIS and there's no EIS, which is irritating. Now, Huawei are releasing an update at some point. I don't know when. It's supposed to, so I've heard it's coming soon, to give stabilization at 4K. But at 4K, it's just too shaky. Again, I showed that in the video I mentioned earlier. Right at the end of that video, you can see the difference between the stabilization on the iPhone X and on the P20 Pro. P20 Pro is just too shaky, too jittery. So with video recording, my only issue is it needs stabilization in the 4K mode. If you're happy with 1080p, then you'll have no issue, in my honest opinion. Let's talk about the selfie cameras now. The selfie camera. Take a look at these shots. I did one shot here in portrait with beauty mode off. I did one shot with portrait with beauty mode ramped up all the way to level 10. And then the next shot here next to that one is portrait switched off and no beauty mode at all. Switched off again. Now, it keeps on overexposing my face. I can't seem to switch off beauty mode completely, even though I've selected to switch it off. If you notice, it just smooths my face out. Look at me in this video I'm shooting now without any beauty mode, and you can see the difference. You know, I am using a DSLR to record this, but you can clearly see there's a big difference. I hope they release a fix to somehow disable beauty mode completely if you don't want it. That's what I'd really like to see. But it just takes that detail away from my face. It just softens it a bit too much, kind of smudges my skin. I don't know how to put it. So camera's excellent, it's flagship level, but 4K does need stabilization, and the selfie camera does need something done about the beauty mode. They're the two things. But other than that, camera's excellent. Let's talk about sound now. I'm going to tell you some things here that other reviewers don't seem to have picked up on. Some reviewers are saying the dual speaker, one in the earpiece and the one at the bottom, are not as good as the iPhone X or the S9 Plus. I beg to differ. I think it's equally as good as those. I think it's some cases is actually better. Very loud, very clean sounding. Now that's got Dolby Atmos. I'm not going to get into how realistic that is compared to real Dolby Atmos, but it does make a difference overall. I really like the speakers. I think they're excellent. Just listen to this little sound clip and tell me what you think. what did you think about that sound clip there? I think it sounds really good, really loud. Where the sound quality I think takes a little bit of a dive, and again this is me personally, is the headphones department. And there's an easy fix for this. The biggest issue is, let me just put the phone down. Let me put it down here. The biggest issue for me is this thing, this dongle that comes with it. This dongle, for some reason, strangles the audio performance with wired headphones. They just sound timid, they don't go loud enough, they certainly can't drive, for example, let me just put my phone down, these Sennheiser HD 600s, which are 300 ohm resistance. Very power hungry headphones these. They need a lot of power to drive. Using the standard dongle that comes in it, these don't get driven. They're definitely very quiet, muffled sounding. This is my go-to testing set of headphones, these. It does drive these Sennheisers, which have much lower impedance, I think 32 ohms, but they don't sound excellent. They sound average. But a little fix, and believe me, this makes a big difference. If you're going to get a P20 Pro, or you've got a P20 Pro, you have to go and buy this. This is the HTC Headphone Dongle, okay? Now this dongle here has got I think it's a 24-bit DAC built into here. This works with the P20 Pro, okay? It's not that expensive, definitely worth buying this grey-colored HTC dongle. That makes the headphone performance night and day. Absolutely night and day. I'm telling you guys, get that dongle, you will not have an issue with the headphones. It actually ran loudly my Sennheiser HD 600s with the 3000 ohm resistance without an issue. Loud, clear, good bass, everything. It made these Sennheisers sound excellent too. Even though they're low impedance, I didn't need them at a very loud volume setting because these things got a lot louder with that dongle. So that's my top tip. What about Bluetooth performance? Now this is an interesting thing. I've been using these Beyerdynamic, I'm going to be reviewing these soon, Bluetooth headphones. Excellent quality headphones, really exceptional quality. Now when I connect them up to the P20 Pro, these automatically detect, or the phone detects, whichever, that it's got aptX HD. Now that makes a big difference. That makes the Bluetooth performance with this kind of headphone excellent. Really good quality Bluetooth headphone performance. And with that dongle, with wired headphones, beautiful. So definitely, if you don't take anything else away from this video, take my advice, get that HTC dongle. It's a must have, okay? Must have. I've covered build, battery, performance, screen, camera, sound quality. One more thing. I'm going to be reviewing a feature that no other YouTuber seems to talk about at all. It's a major feature that no one mentions. It's the desktop mode. With one wire, you essentially turn your P20 Pro into a desktop. I'm going to do a separate video for that completely. That is a game changer to me when it comes to this phone. I've used it, I've had Spotify running, I've had the Chrome browser open, I've had Amazon open, my emails open, Word open, and Photoshop program all open. And one other, Telegram, I think. Did I mention Telegram? Telegram open as well. 6-7 apps all open on my widescreen monitor behind me here. All running at the same time from my P20 Pro whilst using a Bluetooth keyboard and a Bluetooth mouse with the phone. Unbelievable, but no one talks about it. It's nuts. To me, that makes this phone a must-have device. Very similar to DeX in that sort of performance-wise, but it's a game changer. The only other phone you can get that has that sort of feature is Samsung DeX. It's Samsung's flagships with the DeX built in. So I don't hear anyone else mention it. Super Sap, Mr. Who's the Boss, MKBHD, no one. That to me is nuts. Anyway, guys, this video's dragged on long enough. It was a raw video. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree with me. Do you have a P20 Pro? What do you think of your experience with it to date? Before you go, where is it? Let me grab this box real quick. Okay, I had this come in yesterday. It's a brand new Huawei MediaPad M5 Pro tablet with a pen included with it. I'm going to be doing my unboxing, first hands-on impressions about this shortly, and I'm also going to be doing reviews and so on about this. So, spoiler alert, excellent tablet, really excellent. Trust me, you want to watch that. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy the video. I try to be natural here rather than robotic without script. That's probably why it's dragged on. So, in conclusion, P20 Pro from Huawei is one of my favorite phones they've ever made. I probably recommend it personally over the Mate 10 Pro. I would recommend this. It's also got the waterproofing that the Mate 10 Pro has got. I didn't mention that. But it's a bit narrower than most 2x1 screen phones. Just saying. I like it. I'm using it as one of my 2 daily drivers at the moment. So definitely 100% thumbs up from me. Really like the phone. I highly recommend it. I pointed out the little things that Huawei need to address, and hopefully they will do that. There you have it, guys. Thumbs up. Smash the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. Share this video on all your social media because it helps me out, helps the channel grow as always. Take care, and until next time, peace.